If you stepped outside this afternoon, you figured out pretty quick the heat is here, and it's not going anywhere anytime soon, making for dangerously hot conditions. The first of 5 weather impact alert days in a row, and it's our big story tonight. We're not wasting any time here. We're getting straight to Chief Meteorologist Matt Zaffino for a look at things now and what's to come. Matt?
All right, Pat, thank you so much. A little bit of good news for you. We did not hit 100 degrees today, which means we won't tie the Portland record for consecutive 100-degree days, which is 5. But we're likely going to get 4. And our stretch of weather impact alert days continues through Tuesday. So 4 more of those. That'll be 5.5. And we just started this program this week. And the intent here is not to alarm you, but to alert you to the fact that the weather that we're having or going to have is at the very least inconvenient, so it might be minor, or dangerous, like this is for some, with temperatures over 100 degrees, which is where we're going to be Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. We've shifted the forecast. I think Monday and Tuesday will be the hottest days. Today we hit 99, so we just missed 100, and that is a new record for the day. And then we drop into the 90s, which never looks so good, and we'll stay there for a few days. More on that a little bit later on, too. But for tonight, what about cooling overnight? We'll get cooling overnight, of course, but not that much, not as much as you might think. We don't drop out of the 90s till about 8:30, 9 o'clock. So we'll give the weather impact alert a reprieve for the overnight hours. But look, we don't drop below 80 until about 11:30 or midnight. So it'll be a slow decline. And one of the reasons why our nights will be so warm, well, 2 reasons. First of all, the air is just so hot, it takes a long time to cool off. The second thing is it's early July. We just passed the summer solstice. These are our shortest nights of the year. So there's just not that much time to cool off before the sun comes up and resets it and we start heating it up all over again, right? Okay, let's look at some of the streaks that we're dealing with here. First of all, the 100-degree streaks that I mentioned earlier. The longest was way back in 1941. We've had a couple, though, where we had 4 100-degree days in a row, most recently just last August, less than a year ago. And then back in 1981, we had a 4-day stretch. 2 of those days, we hit 107, which was Portland's all-time record high temperature until the heat dome of 2021 blew that one completely out of the water. Now, the most 100-degree days we've ever had in a year is 5, and 2 of those, we've done it 4 times, 2 of those have been in the last couple of years. So again, we've been piling up the hot days in the last several years. In fact, when we look at 90-degree days, it's even more pronounced there. So let's do that. The 90-degree day streaks, the longest we've ever had was 10 straight 90-degree days in 2009, okay, late July, early August. We thought, forecasters, that we were going to break that 107-degree all-time record then. We didn't do it, but we got close on 2 of those days. So what about this streak? At least 9 days, because it started yesterday. We have today. We've got another 7 days of at least 90. That would be 9. So we're going to rival for the longest 90-degree day streak that Portland has ever had. And interestingly enough, and Cale Williams will talk more about this in the story coming up in a bit on climate change, 7 of our 10 longest 90-degree day streaks have all occurred since 2015. So if you're looking for evidence of warming, that's one piece of it right there. We're seeing a lot of these records, and we're not seeing a lot of low temperature records these days either. Okay, we'll go back to yesterday, the 4th of July, and the extremes in July warming on this. Since 1970 in Portland, July 4th is warmed by 4 degrees. That's significant. The hottest was in 1972 when we hit 97. We came within 5 degrees of that yesterday, but you can see the trend here. Now, this wiggly line, that one is the year-to-year variation. The solid white line here on the slant, that's the best fit of all the data, and that's how we come up with the +4 on the warming for the 4th of July since 1970. That is a significant amount of warming over that time period. Pat?
Well, I have a quick question. So we had a viewer who wrote in and wanted to know, with all this hot air in the atmosphere, is it bad for us?
So in a way, yes, the heat itself in terms of air quality isn't necessarily bad, but when we get these hot air masses and these very stable weather patterns, we're not getting much changeover or ventilation of our air. So we're living with the same, you've heard the term watershed to describe a watershed. Well, we have an air shed, and our air shed is not seeing any changeover at all. So everything we put into it pollution, dust, and the like. All of it's just sitting there because there's no wind to change it out and blow it out. So the air quality does diminish when we get these hot weather patterns like this where there's just no movement of the air.
Super interesting as always. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
You bet, buddy.